Diolch yn fawr, byddai'n siarad yn Gymraeg. I'll speak in English, Welsh, then in English. In a very Welsh, modest way this morning, I thought nobody would turn up tonight. So I'm really pleased to see so many of you here. And I'm really grateful to the Wales Governance Centre for the invitation and opportunity to deliver this lecture as another term and indeed another year draws to a close. The past few months have not been easy, to say the very least. The sadness which struck the Assembly in light of Carl Sargent's death has been accompanied by a whole range of emotions, questions and reactions which will no doubt continue for many months to come. And throughout it all, as Llywydd, it has been my duty to ensure that our Assembly treats Carl's family with the respect they deserve and that our members have been able to mark the passing of a close colleague with the dignity expected of our national democratic legislature. I've no doubt that our small but perfectly formed circular chamber provides strength to our politicians, both at times of scrutiny when they want to challenge, to confront or to remonstrate, or on those rare occasions when we want to unite, sometimes in defiance, but also to express grief and pride. It is during these times that I'm most proud to be the Llywydd, when our democratic institution becomes a focal point for a collective national expression. And it's during the difficult times that the Assembly demonstrates true resilience and endurance. For me, a member of the Assembly's class of '99 and old enough to recall the disappointment of 1979, this resilience continues to be a remarkable phenomenon. For some here this evening, it is what they have always known and have come to accept and expect. There are some young first-year politics students in the audience this evening who have made quite an impression on me over recent weeks. You may have seen Geneva, Aisha, Brett and Will on the Sunday Politics show recently, speaking eloquently about how we can make politics and the political environment in Wales better for the next generation. 3 of them are here tonight. This is the generation which is ready and waiting to take on the baton into the middle part of this century. They may not wait, of course. They may seek to snatch the baton from some of us and run with it early. That's the beauty of democracy. Brett and Will had already secured a starring role on television a few weeks earlier when they rushed over with the great excitement to the Welsh Government's office in Caerdydd Park after hearing there was a reshuffle underway. They declared this on Twitter. I think I may have retweeted one of them. They were then later interviewed by ITV Wales, and it was during a discussion with reporter Rob Osborne that they revealed that, remarkably, they had no memory of any time when Jane Hutt was not a government minister. Listening to them speak, I started thinking about their ages. I hope they don't mind me saying this, and I've since confirmed their ages. I worked out that I was campaigning as a candidate in the first ever election to the National Assembly for Wales, when each one of these students, or political pundits as they now like to be known probably, was born between July 98 and February 99. Don't worry, this whole lecture is not about you. I'll stop talking about you soon. As one of those young people considered myself as the young intake of that first National Assembly, it's a sobering fact when you realise that you've been an elected member throughout the lifetime of an entire new generation. And to take that a step further, Will, who is from Llanbadarn near Aberystwyth, has never ever had another constituency AM apart from Elin Jones. And long may that be the case. This is the generation that considers Rhodri Morgan and Carwyn Jones as household names. Brett tells a funny story about how he once went on holiday in a caravan on the same site as Rhodri Morgan. To him, it was perfectly natural, ordinary thing to camp in a grassy field next to the leader of your nation's government. For the 4, then, this is the Wales you know, this is who you are. The National Assembly is as much part of your nation's identity as Calon Lan, Parc y Scarlett and Gareth Bale. There are now 3 generations of Welsh devolutionists. The fighters, those who fought for it, the founders, and the future. The fighters are those who spent most of their lives battling for self-government only to succeed and then to pass it on to the next generation. The founders are those of us who have had the duty to enshrine the Assembly's place and status in the nation's psyche and to solidify the foundations upon which it has been built. And then there's the future, the next generation, those who want to run with it and make it thrive. And I'm not just talking about our future politicians, this applies to our future leaders in other areas too, who contribute to the politics of Wales outside the elected arena. The academics, the economists, the policymakers, the statisticians, the psephologists and the commentators. For these people, indeed, for all the people of Wales, whether they are interested in politics or not, we have a duty to strengthen the core of our democratic institution. The actor Michael Sheen, during a lecture in Merthyr Tydfil recently, and in a subsequent interview on the Sunday Politics that I think was filmed in this very building, he recently re-asked the question, who speaks for Wales? And said that as a nation we've had difficulty reckoning with our past. I don't disagree, but what gives me hope is that this appears to be so much less so when speaking with our younger generation. There's so much less baggage, fewer hang-ups, less conflict between the various factors which enrich our identity, but have in the past been a dividing line in our politics. I am certainly confident that the future generation of Welsh politicians or political aides or civil servants are more at ease and are even proud of Welsh democracy and how it is beginning to take shape. So we owe it to them to ensure that they have the best possible chance to make a success of it for the sake of the people and communities of Wales. We must also ensure that they have the confidence to challenge, to scrutinise and generally to speak truth into power for the sake of a vibrant, healthy democracy. Michael Sheen also talked of an institutional framework in Wales that is fragile. Again, I do not disagree, but I also think we now have it within our own grasp to do something about that. And what that means in terms of our Assembly is that we now have the powers, through the Wales Act of 2017, to create a parliamentary democracy that really works for Wales. Nawr, mae'n wir bod Comisiwn y Cynulliad nawr yn argymell y dylem newid enw'r sefydliad o gynulliad i Senedd Cymru, fel rhan o'r broses o oresgyn unrhyw fregisrwydd. Mae'n enw sy'n adlewyrchu cyfrifoldeb sydd arno, ac sy'n cael ei gydnabod a'i ddeall gan yr rhain i'n ei gwasanaethu ac yn ceisio ennyn ei hymddiriedau. Mae'n holl bwysig fod pob dinesydd sy'n byw yng Nghymru yn teimlo perchnogaeth o'n Senedd, yn deall ei phwrpas ei bod yn cael argraff seicolegol ac ymarferol ar bob cymuned ledled y wlad yma, ac nid dim ond yma y Caerdydd. Yn sicr mae digon o waith gennym i'w wneud i wireddu hyn. Mae'r ffaith nad oes gennym nifer fawr o gwmnïau cyfryngau masnachol yn adrodd ar y cynulliad. Mae'r cyfrifoldeb ar ein ysgwyddau ni felly i greu ein llwyfannau ein hunain a rhannu ein cynnwys ein hunain, a gwneud ein Senedd mor ddigidol, hygyrch a phosib. Ac wrth gwrs, rydym yn bwrw ymlaen â hyn drwy ddechrau gweithredu argymhellion, y tasglu newyddion a gwybodaeth ddigidol annibynnol a gafodd ei gadeirio gan Leighton Andrews yn ddiweddar. Nid oes gennyf unrhyw ymheuaeth, mae cenedl gryfach, mwy uchelgeisiol a hunan hyderus fydd y Gymru lle mae gan fwy o'i phobl y cyfle i gyfrannu at y penderfyniadau sy'n cael eu cymryd ar ei rhan a gwybod mwy am y penderfyniadau hynny. Dyma hefyd pam, ar ôl Brexit, yr hoffwn weld fod pob dinesydd o'r Undeb Ewropeaidd sy'n byw yng Nghymru yn cadw ei hawl i bleidleisio ar gyfer ein Senedd Genedlaethol. Ac yn fy marn i, dyle dinasyddion o unrhyw wlad sy'n byw yng Nghymru gael yr hawl i bleidleisio yn etholiad cyffredinol Cymru, o ble bynnag maen nhw'n dod. Mae hyn wrth gwrs yn fater i'r cynulliad benderfynu arno a bydd yr aelodau am wybod beth yw barn y cyhoedd, felly bydd hyn yn destun ymgynghoriad yn y flwyddyn newydd. Ond doed a ddel, rwyf eisiau i Senedd Cymru ar ei newydd wedd fod yn fwy cynhwysol na'r 5 cynulliad sy'n ein rhagflaenu, yn yr un modd a mod i am ei gweld yn estyn allan ac yn meithrin yr enw da'r cysylltiadau ar y llwyfan rhyngwladol. Rhaid i ni barhau fod yn Gymru groesawgar yn hytrach na chaniatáu Brexit ein hynysu yng nghornel orllewinol ein cyfandir. Bydd y penderfyniad hwn i greu Senedd gryfach yn ein dwylo ni. O'r prif ddiwrnod penodedig ar y 1 o Ebrill 2018 mewn llai na 4 mis, bydd Deddf Cymru 2017 yn rhoi'r cymwysydd deddfwriaethol i'r cynulliad dros ein hetholiadau'n hunain, dros faint ein Senedd a thros ein gweithrefnau. Fel y gwyddwch, fe wahoddwyd gan y Comisiwn y Cynulliad banel o arbenigwyr ar ddiwygio etholiadol yn gynhana a chaleni dan gaderyddiaeth yr athro Laura McAllister o'r ganolfan hon, hyfryd i gweld hi yma, ac i wneud y gwaith o adolygu'r dystiolaeth a'r ymchwil gyfredol ynghylch maint a threfniadau etholiadol y Cynulliad Cenedlaethol ac ychwanegu y rhain pe bai angen ac yna i wneud argymhellion am y canlynol, sef faint o aelodau cynulliad y ddylai fod, y system etholiadol y dylid ei ddefnyddio i ethol yr aelodau hynny a'r oedran pleidleisio isaf ar gyfer etholiadau'r cynulliad. Gofynnwyd i'r panel sy'n cynnwys rhai o arbenigwyr mwyaf blaenllaw Ewrop ynghylch materion etholiadol, lunio argymhellion y gellid ei gweithredu mewn pryd ar gyfer etholiad y Cynulliad Cenedlaethol yn 2021 a chyflwyno adroddiad erbyn yr Hydref yma yn 2017. Ac rwy'n addo na fydd yn rhaid i chi aros yn rhy hir nawr am yr adroddiad hwnnw fydd yn ymddangos ar eich silffoedd yn y dyfodol agos iawn. I wedi gwir fe wneud y brisant arbennig i'r Nadolig i nifer o bobl yn eich teulu estynedig, mae'n siŵr. Erbyn yr wythnos nesaf, i ddweud y gwir, dydd Mawrth, sy'n rhaid fi fod mor gynnil hynny'n agos. Dydd Mawrth, fe fydd canfyddiadau'r panel yn cael ei darlledu drwy'r holl gyfryngau newyddion arferol, drwy adroddiad sy'n rwy'n gwybod sy'n un trylwyr a swmpus ac yn cynnwys tystiolaeth ragorol. Rwy'n cael ar ddeall bod 252 o dudalennau Saesneg a 262 o dudalennau Gymraeg yn yna job o waith i rywun i weithio mas beth yn ychwanegol sydd yn y fersiwn Gymraeg i'r fersiwn Saesneg. Felly, does dim rhaid i chi aros yn hir am y gallu gychwyn y broses i wneud penderfyniadau ynghylch y materion hyn. Ni wedi siarad am rai o'r materion yma, ni wedi siarad yn yr adeilad yma ac yn yr un drws nesaf am yn hir. A nawr o fis Ebrill ymlaen fydd y pwerau gyda ni i weithredu hefyd. A dwi'n cael rhoi ychydig o ragolwg i chi ar yr hyn sydd yn yr adroddiad heno yn dechnegol nac ydw, ond fe allai atgoffa chi fod yr adroddiad y cytunodd y Comisiwn blaenorol arno'n unfrydol yn y 4ydd cynulliad wedi dod i'r casgliad fod angen cryfhau ein democratiaeth drwy gynyddu nifer yr aelodau. Wrth gwrs, fel y gwnaeth nifer o adroddiadau cyn hynny, fodd bynnag mae'n deg dweud bod yr adroddiad yma yn wahanol oherwydd ei fod yn edrych yn fanwl ar sut yn ogystal â pham y dylid cynyddu'r nifer aelodau. Yn ei hunangofiant a gyhoeddwyd yn ddiweddar, diweddar Rhodri Morgan, mae'r unig reswm na chafodd argymhelliad y Comisiwn Richard i gynyddu'r cynulliad i 80 aelod ei weithredu, oedd yr ofn y gallai gwneud hynny beryglu'r gefnogaeth dros bwerau deddfu. Wrth gwrs, pryn oedd y dystiolaeth i gefnogi hynny ar y pryd, ond mae'n deg dweud na fydd galw am fwy o wleidyddion byth yn fater poblogaidd i ymgyrchu ar ei gyfer, hyd yn oed os mae dyna'r peth iawn i'w wneud. Ond mae hefyd yn deg dweud bod datganoli wedi datblygu yn y fath fodd fel fod hwn bellach yn gwestiwn na ellir ei osgoi. Mae angen i ni gael sgwrs eiddfed sy'n seiliedig ar dystiolaeth briodol yn hytrach na rhagfarnau mympwyol, ac rwy'n gobeithio bydd yr adroddiad y panel yn arwain at gynnal y sgwrs yma. O'r corff a phwerau cyfyngedig i wneud is-ddeddfwriaeth a agorodd yn 1999, fe wnaethon ni symud ymlaen yn 2007 i'r system ELCO, neu HELCO, fel roedd sawl un yn ei adnabod, lle oedd yn rhaid i ni ofyn ymganiatad San Steffan bob tro roedd ni eisiau deddfu yng Nghymru. I'r myfyrwyr ifanc yma, byddwch ddiolchgar eich bod chi ond yn eich arddegau erbyn i'r system ELCO gael ei ddileu. Neu fe fyddech chi siŵr o fod yn sgrifennu pob math o draethodau nawr am gymlethdodau a chyfyngiadau yr ELCOs hynny. Mae'n rhaid fod y broses o sicrhau cydsyniad i'r ELCO cig coch yn fyroli fel gweinidog materion gwledig ymhlith y broses mwyaf poenus, trwsgwl a chymarol gostus ar gyfer unrhyw ddarn o ddeddfwriaeth erioed. A mae Ann Jones, fy nirprwy Llywydd, dal yn teimlo'r boen y profodd hi o gael ei rhoi ar bwyllgor yr elco cig coch fel cosb gan y chwip llafur am herio'r gweinidog. Yn 2011, fe wnaethon ni fabwysiadu pwerau deddfu sylfaenol wrth gwrs. A'r flwyddyn nesaf fe fyddwn ni'n mabwysiadu model datganoli newydd o gadw pwerau a bydd trethu newydd yn cael ei cyflwyno yng Nghymru cyn gweithredu pwerau amrywio treth incwm yn 2019. Fel cenedlaetholwraig, mae'r newid wedi bod yn ara, yn boenus ac yn gymleth, ond rwy'n siŵr y bydd haneswyr gwleidyddol y dyfodol sydd yn unmisg hyn o siŵr o fod yn gweld y cyfnod hwn fel amser o draws newid cymharol gyflym, ond dwi ddim wedi teimlo felly rhai ohono ni sydd wedi gwneud y siwrne mor belled. Ac wrth gwrs, gyda mwy o bwer daw mwy o gyfrifoldeb i graffu ar y ffordd y caiff y pwer hwnnw i weithredu o ran polisi, deddfwriaeth, cyllid a threthiant. Ac felly mae'r cynulliad yn pwyllgorau a'r cyfarfod llawn bellach yn cyfarfod am fwy o oriau yn y dydd, mwy o ddiwrnodau yn yr wythnos a mwy o wythnosau yn y flwyddyn nag erioed o'r blaen. Mae'n amserlen llawn yn ystod pob awr waith ac yn aml y tu hwnt i hynny bod ein rhefolau sefydlog ni'n gwneud yn ofynnol i ni osgoi amserlennu busnes cyn 9 neu ar ôl 6, ond yn ymarferol nid dyna sy'n digwydd erbyn hyn. Nid cael mwy o staff ychwanegol yw'r ateb bellach, roedd yn staff y comisiwn neu staff sy'n cael ei cyflogi'n uniongyrchol gan aelodau. Dyw mwy o staff yn hytrach na chael rhagor o aelodau ddim yn opsiwn cynaladwy nag effeithiol. Serch hynny, mae'r gefnogaeth sy'n cael ei ddarparu i aelodau'r cynulliad wedi cynyddu ac mae'r gwasanaethau sy'n cael ei darparu i aelodau'r cynulliad gan y comisiwn hefyd wedi helpu i ysgwyddo'r faich dros y blynyddoedd diwethaf. Mae'r pwyllgorau wedi defnyddio eu pwerau sefydlu is-bwyllgorau mwyn cynyddu eu capacity, fel y gwelwyd yn ddiweddar gyda'r mesur landlordiad cymdeithasol cofrestredig, ac mae'r pwyllgorau'r cynulliad ag eithrio pwyllgorau safonau ymddygiad, deisebau a chraffu'r waith y prif weinidog yn cwrdd bob wythnos gyda 3 yn cwrdd ar ddydd Llun hefyd. Efallai bydd rhai yno chi yn ymwybodol ac wedi darllen am adroddiad diweddar y Comisiwn McCormick ar ddiwygio seneddol sy'n gwneud argymhellion ynghylch sut i wneud Senedd yr Alban yn fwy effeithiol. Wel, y newyddion da neu'r newyddion drwg yn dibynnu ar eich safbwynt yw bod y Cynulliad Genedlaethol eisoes wedi rhoi llawer o'r argymhellion yma ar waith mewn perthynas â diwygio cynyddu effeithlonrwydd a chapasiti a gwell ymgysylltiad â'r cyhoedd. O'r rheini sydd heb ei gweithredu, byddai'r rhai'n gwbl amhosib ei gweithredu yn y cynulliad oherwydd bod cyn lleied o aelodau gennym, enghraifft, cynnal y cyfarfod llawr a chyfarfodydd pwyllgor yr un pryd, mater sydd wedi cael ei grybwyll ar sawl adeg, ond sy'n gwbl anymarferol gyda cyn lleied o aelodau. Wrth gwrs, ni allwn leisu dwylo mewn gweithdrefnau ac arferion, ond mae'n amlwg nad oes gennym lawer iawn o le i addasu o ran ein gallu i weithio'n fwy effeithiol a chreu mwy o le ar gyfer gwaith craffu. Ac mae hyn yn cael ei gymlethu, nid yn fwriadol, mae'n rhaid dweud, gan dwf diweddar Llywodraeth Cymru o 12 aelod i 4 aelod ar 10. So let's look at the implications of this on our work in the Assembly. Here are some of the facts. And I know that some people in this audience particularly like statistics and facts. At the moment, 64% of Assembly members, 38 of the 60, hold additional offices, whether as part of Welsh Government, Llywydd, commissioners, business managers, party leaders or committee chairs. That's 64% in comparison with just 45% of members of the Scottish Parliament. The comparison with Westminster is probably not fair, but I'm going to make it anyway. Figures from February 2017 suggest that there were some 500 MPs who did not hold government or office holder roles, representing 77% of the membership of the Commons. This compares with just 22 members, 37% of Assembly members in Wales. The pressure on our committees in the Assembly is phenomenal. We have 43 members, those who are not Llywydd deputy presiding officers or ministers, to fill 79 committee places. This means that 24 of our members, 41% of them, sit on 2 committees and 7 members sit on 3. Figures like these illustrate the circumstances which prompted the Auditor General, the office charged with auditing public spending in Wales, a few years ago to say, and I quote, "The Assembly needs more members to do its job properly." I'm confident that the vast majority of our AMs are giving many, many hours to undertake a huge volume of reading, research and preparation for committees, writing speeches, drafting questions. But with the best will in the world, if your entire working week is filled with committees, plenaries, surgeries, notwithstanding local and national events, engagements and interviews, then can we really expect each AM to give each inquiry on their multiple committees the same attention? They also need time to think, to analyse evidence, conceive new ideas, and to find solutions to problems. Thinking time is the most precious time of all. I do my thinking time on 4 hours I spend every week on the M4 corridor. Sometimes it's longer than 4 hours, by the way, with various M4 road closures. Valuable thinking time when I get caught up in traffic. And the biggest pressure is on the Labour Party, whose place on the Assembly Commission, 6 committee chairs and 31 committee places must be populated by just 15 backbench members. It's also the case that 7 of our committee chairs sit on one other committee and 4 chairs sit on 2 others. These are the committee chairs who should be leading the work of their committees, and they're sitting on other subject committees as well. So the situation is unsustainable. I'm mindful of the words of the former clerk of the House of Commons, Lord Lisvane, who said that unless you are prepared to make profound changes, such as a virtual chamber and virtual committees so that members need not be present and parliamentary buildings become irrelevant, the currency is always going to be member time. And members' time in our Assembly is at a premium. Our backbenchers work hard, but we need more of them. Now, our institutional framework may be delicate and needs strengthening, but our institutions' backbenchers are not. We have a fine cohort in this 5th Assembly of members who work extremely hard and whose collective pool of experience and knowledge has recently been enhanced by having the likes of Jane Hutt and Mick Antoniv in their midst. It's as important, by the way, that we retain and use the valuable experience of former ministers in the Assembly as it is in Westminster, even if we won't give them ermine to do that. Our Parliament, in fact, our Assembly, needs the Harriet Harmans, Ken Clarks, John Redwoods of this world. Don't quote me out of context on that one. I'm merely saying that I want to see former ministers, even former presiding officers, stay as elected members and give of their experience. You will, of course, already be aware that as well as having fewer members than many of our local authorities in Wales, our National Assembly is the smallest of all the devolved UK parliaments. Among the countries of the European Union, the average size of lower chambers of parliaments is 267 members. According to a recent study for those parliaments serving populations of between 1 and 6 million, their average size is 142 members. So we here in Wales have an extremely small institution, and the people of Wales per head of population have far fewer representatives in their national parliament than the EU average. If we take other devolved regions and nations in the EU, even when we include the smaller regions, those with fewer powers and those who do not have executive functions at all, the average number of members is 76. So why should the people of Wales be underrepresented at their national parliament? And why should the parliament be underpowered when executing its responsibilities? The only real reasons are because we haven't had the powers to do something until now, and others, as Rhodri Morgan said, have been too reluctant to prioritise the debate. Well, I'm not one who is known to shy away from difficult issues or from holding this debate and leading it. If that's what the report recommends next week, and if that's what Assembly members ask me to do. In doing so, I will instigate an innovative, thorough, meaningful conversation and consultation with the people of Wales. Political parties must also be given the time and space to consider their positions. When the panel publishes its report, I hope we can work together across the political spectrum in order to develop a political consensus and find the right way forward. The issue cannot continue to be ignored and kicked into the long grass until another Assembly Commission decides to try to tackle it once again in 5 years or 10 years' time. I don't believe there will be another opportunity like this, where so many factors are aligned to make this happen for the Brett, Will, Geneva and Aisha generation. As the Silk Commission concluded, good scrutiny means good legislation, and good legislation pays for itself. Nevertheless, I'm sure the cost of more AMs will arise should the panel recommend an increase in members. I'm also sure that the panel will want to comment on this in their report, although everyone, me included, will be absolutely determined to ensure that costs are kept to a minimum. I'm a Caerdydd, I'll make sure that that's the case. We'll have to wait until next week to see the detail, but it's worth noting that in 2013, one report published jointly by the Electoral Reform Society and the UK's Changing Union put the estimated cost of 40 additional members at around £9 million. Figures produced by the Treasury in the same year estimated the cost of 4 MEPs who represent Wales at the European Parliament to be £7.16 million. So that's 7.16 million for 4 MEPs and 4.5 million, according to the Size Matters report, for 20 Assembly members. We're a bargain at that. I'll try that. I'll try that line sometimes and fall flat on my face, probably. It's also worth bearing in mind that the Westminster boundary, of course, change proposals are still also technically on the table. So, yes, it's worth considering the cost of democracy as a whole in Wales when approaching this decision, as well as the fact that even marginal improvements in scrutiny could result in significant dividends to the taxpayer. When it comes to the implications of Brexit for our National Assembly, there are further, more important considerations, of course, than the savings made on the cost of MEPs. There is no doubt that the process of leaving the EU will bring about changes to both to the role of the Assembly and to its workload. Indeed, it will result in fundamental changes to the constitutional arrangements of the UK and the place of the nations within it. At the moment, the EU withdrawal bill in its current form seems as much about Whitehall taking back control from the Welsh people as it is about taking back control from Brussels. But it is very clear to me that in voting for Brexit, the people of Wales did not vote to overturn the progress of devolution by freezing and limiting our powers. As such, the Assembly's cross-party External Affairs Committee has published detailed and constructive recommendations and amendments to address this situation. If UK ministers do not take heed of these, as things stand, the withdrawal bill may not receive the Assembly's consent. Of course, the Secretary of State for exiting the EU said earlier this year that one of the results of Brexit would be a significant increase in the amount of powers given to the devolved institutions. One way or another, we are fully expecting that the Assembly will take on a greater volume of work in shaping policy, scrutinising legislation and influencing this debate. If we go back to where this leaves the next generation we referred to earlier, they of course didn't ask for any of this. They voted for the UK to remain within the EU. So once again, we owe it to them to ensure that despite not being able to deliver that particular outcome possibly, we can use this opportunity to shape the future relations between the parliaments and governments of these islands. This is a time for mature, grown-up and direct relations between parliamentary committees, between legislatures, but also between cabinet secretaries and their equivalent ministers elsewhere, and between government departments. This is the time to forge greater equality and parity between the nations, and it's a time which requires self-confidence and also mutual respect. Despite the challenges ahead, it gives me great pleasure to know that a growing cohort of young people, some here this evening, see a future for themselves shaping and leading the development of Wales through politics or outside of politics, developing our institutional capacity and drive. Some may want to be political journalists, lobbyists, SPADs, support staff, academics or civil servants. In 2021, some may want to become elected members in the 6th term of the National Assembly, or as will be known by then, hopefully, the Welsh Parliament. It could be a very different institution, more resilient, stronger and with more certainty. It could be larger and more diverse, and it could very well have been elected by 16 and 17-year-old citizens of Wales. It will definitely be complemented by a new youth parliament for Wales, whose members will be elected for the first time next year. I hope both parliaments will be at the very fore in pioneering a digital democracy, having revolutionised communication and engagement with their electorate in communities across Wales. I hope our new Senedd will become a beacon of good practice in terms of its standards of scrutiny, and I expect its members to adopt the very highest standards of conduct. I also hope our new Parliament, although outside the European Union, will maintain its existing partnerships on the international stage and forge new strategic relations throughout the world. We have an opportunity towards creating a Parliament that really works for Wales. Let's embrace that debate with all the challenges it brings and use the early part of 2018 to think about the legacy we want to leave for the next generation. Diolch yn fawr.